No, you eat there.
Oh, I eat there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good place to eat.
Yeah, my wife loves to
Yeah.
go there on special occasions. Like this is 35th anniversary coming up, so
Yeah.
Sunday. So I know she probably would want to go there.
Yeah, good place
Where
to
is
eat.
it located at there? On top of the
Which one?
Beechwood?
Oh, it's located right there off of Highway 27 and Clay Street.
Yeah. Don't let the outside fear food.
Well, now, we got the
Oh,
Rusty's
yeah.
quite regular up there.
Sir?
We got the Rusty's quite regular over
But
there.
it's that same people, same owners,
Oh, is it?
same owners, yeah.
Now, we like Rusty's, we've never been to the other one.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, the other one, they have some nice stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what, some of these places, you can't look at the outside and tell what's inside.
Definitely. That was true in Mobile too. I went to a place in Mobile. That was the best food I ever had. You know, on the Spillway. This is back in the 90s, but I'll tell you, this, I never have had fish that good.
We was up in, where Holmes is, up above Kent.
Goodman.
Huh?
Ken, what Ken?
Goodman.
Yeah, up at Goodman, where Holmes College is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Isn't that where their
That's
main
where
campus is?
my big brother pitched there once.
That's Goodman.
Oh,
Yeah, that's where Cody played that morning.
It is.
We was up there for Cody's graduation years ago and, looking for someplace to eat and on the main drag there, there was a, building there and it something burgers and they had bars over everything in there. And Kenny said, I don't know if I'm gonna go in there. Oh, yeah, that was some of the best food we ever went
Oh,
to.
really? Oh.
Yes.
I gotta check it out.
Whatever works best for you. I'll think
Wow, that's amazing.
I think it's okay. He said, did it wrong? Yeah. I was told, gosh, it's probably not on blood.
Back years ago when the shed first opened down on the coast. You never eat at the shed, it was a barbecue place and all it is, they took a chicken house tin and put sides on it. Candy would not get out and go in and eat.
Oh, really?
It pulled in, she said, I'm not getting out
It
yet.
looks rough.
It looks bad. But I got some good food.
Doing good. Got tight one foot. You got two.
I think I got everything figured out in there.
Of course, I can put it in their big
Thank you.
Senior
I got a doctor tomorrow. Oh, that's that bar. Sends it up to the, I came to basketball. Yeah.
She's good.
Is it girls and guys?
I think so.
The whole tournament there.
My little one. Mr. Jim, good to see you. Yeah, bookkeeper, I got you. Statistician.
Yeah, you chose that?
Good to see you. I didn't know we just had to worry about it.
Long time no see.
Chief, come here, baby. I'm just talking to here's what one thing was too rough. I could see that. Good to go. I'll receive. Just smooth the ground, just right. And it's like, y'all make the ground smooth. He said, if I grew up one day, I'll build houses like that.
I think you gotta fix that. You gotta like it. Oh, yeah, it's the top one that they decided.
Okay, good.
Yeah, the CO, Diane Webster told me. He started off, he said, look, I'm up there. They sure did. He said you can just done it, just put a plan. That's what he wants. There you go. All right. I just figured one. Yeah, that's
You got it all. I need to do it.
All right, I'd like to welcome everybody to February 6th board meeting. This time we're gonna lead a prayer for Ward 3 Alderman Sammy Tebow. He's in charge of prayer, and we'll follow by pledge of allegiance.
At this time, I'd like to introduce Matthew Harrison. Matthew is one of our volunteer firemen and young citizen here in Magee and part of our great fire department. And I had the honor of coaching Matthew when he was in youth ball here in the city. Matthew, will come up and do our prayer.
Absolutely. Thank y'all so much. All right, let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this opportunity to be able to come and pray in an open setting, Lord. It's such a blessing to still have these standards as a nation and as a community, Lord. It's such a blessing, and I just want to thank you for that, Lord. And I also pray for the town of Magee, Lord. I pray for our citizens. I pray for our officials. I pray for our policemen, fire department, from the whole entire city, Lord. I pray for each one. I pray for each one of these leaders before me today. I pray that you will continue to bless them and help them and put your shield of protection around them. Help them to make the tough decisions, Lord, just as they go about their everyday life. I just pray that you'll give them wisdom and discernment to make the best decision for this city. Lord, thank you so much for each one of them. Thank you for what they not only mean to me, but to each citizen. But I also pray for the citizens of Magee, Lord. You know that the nation right now, it seems dark, but Lord, you're the only answer to each one of our problems. And I pray that each person will truly seek you and put you first and just seek you throughout life, and not just for our own good, but Lord, what your perfect will and your way is. So please continue to be with us. Thank you so much again for this opportunity, Lord. In your name I ask and pray. Amen.
Amen. I face the flag, attention, salute, pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, you may be seated. Board Tim White got sick today. He had to leave. This time, and Mark, I told him he had 5 minutes. This is Mitchell Tate from Core Maine on the automatic meter readers. Now, Tim and I interviewed him. This will give us 3 choices that Tim will brief y'all on. Tim and Steve won't brief y'all on. But come on up here, Mitchell, and explain to the board your product.
Yeah, you mind if I connect the TV on the HDMI?
It'll get hard to do.
Is that too much trouble?
Steve, you know how to do it? We do it?
We can do it, I don't know.
We all have Ben Stevens here to do it for us.
I think I can get it.
Okay, you think
You
you
just need, you gotta.
or anybody can help.
Yes, I do. HDMI.
You bring one for them to see like you showed us.
Do not, ship could not make it today.
Okay,
But,
yeah. While he's getting ready, department heads, the next announcement was on the health insurance, open enrollment will be Thursday, this Thursday, February 8th, from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock back here in the old boardroom. If y'all, the department heads tell your people, they want to change on health insurance. This is the day they make changes for the year. Same way Aldermen, and I'll get Tim's crew message tomorrow. That will be Thursday, 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. I'll be thinking, all the employees be thinking what they need done.
From when to when?
Thursday, 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and that's in the old boardroom. The insurance people come down there, and we try to get them in there one at a time. We'll try to cycle them through there one at a time. Y'all can meet with, it's health insurance, it's dental, it's life, disability, whatever y'all want. All right, go ahead.
thank y'all for your time. Appreciate it. I'll try to be brief, but, feel free to stop me at any point. More than happy to clarify anything or answer any questions. So my name is Mitchell Tate with Core Maine. So we are underground utility water and wastewater product distributor. Service state of Mississippi out of 3 branches. The product I'm focusing today is on the census metering system. We're the census meter distributor for the entire state. So kind of wanted to start with, I'm sure these are some of the things that have been on y'all's minds regarding meter reading, current situation, where you want to see the city move towards. A lot of it is based around old mechanical meters that lead to a loss of revenue, higher manpower created, potential customer complaints, and not really having a good way of resolving that complaint. So meter readings kind of progressed. It used to be manually reading the meter, either have an electronic device, punch in a read, write it down with a notepad, and they came out with touch read meter reading, where you simply have a wand, you're going meter to meter. And what I'm talking about today is progressing to what's called drive-by reading, or AMR, automated meter reading, where you have your unit in your truck, the meter and the radio on the ground, so you have one employee riding around the truck, collect the meter reads pretty quickly and accurately. And the meter I wanted to focus on is the census iPearl. So currently the city uses mechanical water meters. So mechanical water meters, no matter the brand, even census as well, wear out over time. So what that leads to is the whole idea is, say you have a cash register and you're supposed to charge $1 for your item. Say each time we're charging that $1, we only get to receive 95 cents. What that looks like long-term for a city. So the iPearl is the only electromagnetic residential water meter on the market. I'd say the biggest takeaways on the iPearl is the accuracy for it is guaranteed over the 20-year life of the meter. And then this is industry leading, and kind of the most important piece for any manufacturing defect, like a battery dying. It's a 15-year full, 5-year prorated warranty. So 15 and 5 there, that's industry leading. And the most important piece, I'd say, on a warranty, you'll be looking through and you're evaluating, okay, this product's 15 and 5, this product's 10 and 10, this product's 10 and 10. Or what are the conditions behind the warranty? So with the iPearl, it was brought here in January 24, and it died in, let's say, December 2038. We're 14 years, 11 months in. At that moment when it dies, you get to send it in, and a brand new meter with a brand new warranty is brought back. So you can essentially get, in that instance, 29 years, 11 months of full warranty. And we have an option where it has a plastic composite thread in the meter or a brass metal thread. So this is a video it's going to show in a test lab where it's comparing on a slow drip, and it'll zoom in. Something that'd be comparable, to like someone leaving their faucet on with a slow drip. And mechanical meters to the left, and you'll see the dial not move at all. And the far right dial, the electronic meter on the iPearl, you'll see it tick from 2 to 3 and then 3 to 4. So that's there to kind of illustrate that someone having a toilet leaking, left their faucet on, any kind of slow leaks, potentially not, those low flows aren't captured on a mechanical meter, especially as they wear out over time, versus with a electromagnetic residential meter, it'd be captured over the life of that meter for the full 20 years. Illustrating the same thing, essentially, not dogging another brand in particular, the Census mechanical meter would be the same thing compared against the iPearl. There's no accuracy curve, what they call breaking down over 20 years with the iPearl, versus you can see the purple line is a typical 20-year-old mechanical meter, and that's kind of your whole idea. You see at a low flow there, it's showing 94% what you should be getting. That's the whole idea. The amount of water the city's providing, say we're supposed to receive $1 in exchange, and we're only getting to receive 94 cents. We have a full line, it's called an Omni meter, but we can service any meter for multiple applications, 1.5 through 10-inch lines. It's been successful on that. It's kind of maybe hard for you to see here on the bottom. I tried to get an overhead view of the meter. The nice thing is those 4 bolts pop off of the chamber. So after 10 years, if you're just replacing that chamber, you can leave the main body of the meter in line. It's pretty minimal labor. You just take those 4 bolts off, do a new chamber, pop a new one in. So it can be there for years to come, and it's a minimal installation cost and time, I'd say. So this is the radio that's used for all types of census meters. The most important takeaway on this, so we have a single port radio option to plug in for 1 meter. We also have a dual port option, which is a big cost savings. So if you have like 2 meters side by side, plug it into 1 radio, and over the system it's recognized as 2 different radios. Big cost savings in that instance, and the same idea, the 15 and 5 warranty, industry leading. No other radio in the industry can touch the 15 and 5. Same thing, 14 years, 11 months, radio dies, send it in for a warranty replacement, then come back with a brand new 15 and 5. And I'll touch on this in a little bit. This radio is the same radio we use for the drive-by reading, and also it's called AMI. And AMI just means Advanced Metering Infrastructure. And that's where you have your data collector, like a water tank or a pole, hanging antenna off the top. And then you're reading and doing your billing from the office. We get a read on that system every hour coming into the office. That's a quick look at the vehicle gateway base station. It's just our drive-by unit. So we plug into a truck, power goes in the cigarette lighter, antenna goes on the top of the truck. I think y'all are roughly 1,600 water meters. I've seen work with systems that say about 1,000 water meters, and depending upon how spread out meters are, you'd be shocked that as soon as you turn the unit on, especially in this downtown area, you could probably pick up several hundred meters within several minutes. Kind of unique as well on this drive-by unit, Census uses what's called a licensed radio frequency. So it's not like a cellular connection or unlicensed radio. What that means is every utility that uses our system gets a dedicated frequency that's allocated only for that city. That means no other outside entity can interfere with the utility system. Kind of summing up the value, I'd say, a drive-by radio read. any growth you add in your system, say over the next several years, we add a few hundred meters, doesn't add any time really to radio meter reading. It's a safer option for utility workers, more efficient, and I think it provides customers with a better sense of satisfaction for almost guaranteed we'll be getting accurate meter readings versus the easy meter manual reading. A number can be transposed, cause customer complaints. Touch on this briefly. Any questions on the drive-by side?
Where do y'all have these iPearl meters at? Any locations here in Mississippi?
Yeah, I was gonna tell you that, Roy. We
Yes.
call Brandon's got them.
Yes.
Sue's Brandon's got
So
them.
it's nearest here, the best example system, I'd say, would be Brandon, Mississippi, and then that's serviced out of our Jackson, Mississippi branch.
How long have they had them in?
I think they signed their contract in 2018. So I think that's a good example. If you're looking at references for other systems, I'd ask for utilities that have had the system in for several years. That's a good way to compare how has it fared over 6 years, rather than it's easier to give a good reference on a system that was installed 3 months ago. But yeah, Brandon's been a great opportunity for us. About 11,000 water meters. I think
How many complaints have they had?
it's been pretty minimal there.
I texted Larry, he said he was satisfied with them.
So Brandon, we actually also supply a meter technician that works there full-time. We maintain the metering system.
They have a full-time meter technician there?
Yes, we do. So it's a core main employee that works hand in hand with the utility there. And essentially it's a monthly agreement to where we provide them with 100% monthly billable reads in the meters. So we have a number of service options as well that are kind of like this. To maintain meter systems, we prime installs where we can hire a subcontractor to do installation. And we've also done a number of projects where we can help with kind of providing financing on a project.
Now, Tim had mentioned about maybe putting these automatic readers in the garbage truck, because they go by every house.
We've talked about that, potentially garbage trucks or police cars are an option of it. You could turn the unit on, have the antenna there, and you're only rolling one vehicle if you wanted to.
Yeah, it's not taking any, can they catch you got a meter in this yard and a meter in this yard on
Yes.
opposite side of the streets?
Yes, yeah, the range would be perfectly fine, capture both of those. So, touch into what the industry has progressed beyond drive-by, advanced meter infrastructure. It's just the idea that you have a collector on a water tank that's reading all of your meters every hour. Quickly just showing the demonstration, I'd say, between the two. On the left, when you're drive-by reading, touch read, or like y'all are right now, manually reading your water meters, you're typically reading once per month. You get 12 reads per year. And when a customer complaint comes up, what your utility billing department's typically doing is, we have our read we just got beginning of this month. We're gonna compare it against what was the read last month, and then what was the usage for this window last year. And then with your current system, you get 0 proactive alarms. So what I mean is, you don't know there's been high usage and someone had a leak until you've gone out and read the meter. So with AMI, you get 24 reads per day. On a 31-day month, 744 reads per month, 8,760 reads per year, and you essentially have an unlimited number of proactive alarms. So what I mean by that is your drive-by reading, touch read, or manual read. If you read your meter on the first of the month, customer had a leak start on the second, well, we're not going to pick up that high read till the first of the following month. Versus AMI, we can notify within 24 hours if there's been a gallon going through that meter every hour at that point. And why I kind of bring that up is the nice thing. So the radio and the meter that I presented on, the same exact material we use for AMI. So even AMI might not be in the cards right now, but say 5-10 years down the road, you can easily move from the current drive-by system, push it over with the drive-by system, stand up data collectors and say, hey, we want to be AMI now. So it kind of gives the, freedom and opportunity to make that decision if you wanted to down the road, and not handcuffed just into a drive-by system. And that's just a general overview of, essentially a meter talks to what we call a base station, just a data collector, like a water tank or a pole, and that just sends data every hour and merges with your utility billing system. It's kind of a click of a button for billing. Now, appreciate the opportunity. I apologize. We have an outside salesman, Chip Burdett. He was able to make it this evening. He had something pop up, but I appreciate the opportunity.
I have a question.
Yep.
Y'all are from Alabama?
I'm from Alabama. So we're actually based out of St. Louis, but we have branches in every state in the
So
country.
we had to pay use tax on this when we ordered it, because it's coming out of state?
No, it would be coming out of our Jackson branch. So no use tax on that.
All right, Chip was this standing on what kind of Jackson?
Mississippi Piping Supply. So he essentially grew up in the industry
Yeah.
from day one, basically. But yeah, we'd be servicing this city out of our Jackson, Mississippi branch. So all good there. And we actually, so I'm located out of Alabama, and we actually have two, just like me, meter specialists that live in the Jackson area who regularly support our customers day to day.
Hey, Mayor, can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
I'm aware that the analog and mechanical meters wear out, but if y'all developed any historical data of whose favor it wears out in? The end user of the supply?
Yeah.
It wears out in favor of the customer. So it's essentially mechanical parts of the meter, just as water goes through it over time, the meter slows down essentially. So that'll be the mechanical parts within the meter create a lower usage on the register.
On answering that question, we had to give Brett Duncan, we had to go $10 a month on the water bills because we covered a $200,000 loss, but all three vendors have said that, it's gonna be so accurate that your water bill's gonna increase 10 to 25%, so we're gonna have to cut some of that $10 off for our customer, So, but that's what, all you, the other two vendors said to get ready, the customer said, because you're losing that much water.
Yeah, and I'd say long-term, you're less likely to have to push more rate increases because you've been capturing what you needed to in the present. So you'll be able to be proactive against other utility projects rather than reactive and trying to be searching for funds and whatnot.
Yeah, our average bill was 31, we had to go to 41.
I understand.
To recover, we had some losses to our water wells. Y'all got any more questions, Jay? Y'all got any more? Okay,
Thank you, appreciate that.
All right. This time, we need to approve the agenda. Always skip that. Need to approve the agenda.
Make a motion.
Mark,
Second.
Sue, second, all in favor? Aye. All right, we'll move on to approve the minutes. I heard some of y'all say before it started, John, they got two different sets of minutes, right? Special meeting and last board.
Make a motion, accept both minutes.
Okay. And a motion, one of you here, second now you. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, claims docket. Anyone got any questions on the claims docket for John now?
What about our refund from energy?
Still talking to me, let me tell you. And it was, one of your areas, and it was, now the Sammys. They did not install lights in big lane subdivisions like they're supposed to. They missed 2 or 3 more. And I asked you a question, the new contact, I've sent her 2 or 3 emails, she ain't back, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna call Public Service Commissioner again. See what they do.
And what about the lights out on the highway? They're through with the construction out there now, aren't they?
Right. Then we, where's Shane? Shane, you in here? Shane, come here. I think that's Shane. The lights on the highway, didn't your crew put ribbons around the ones that are?
Yes, sir, and I'll put a list of those lights,
Yeah.
plus 1 or 2 other ones throughout the city on your.
I've emailed that lady, all that, sure did. And she,
Now, you going all the way up to Goodwater Road?
Yeah, they can track them 49. And
Yeah.
on the list, and there was a block of them that he flagged and wrote down.
Because they took all the poles down when they did the new construction, and we're missing a lot of light poles out
Like
there.
a pole isn't there, yeah, we didn't mark it.
Well, that's what, you gotta have the,
I
you
don't.
gotta have poles put up.
Yeah, but as far as where they're gonna replace those locations, I couldn't tell.
yeah, we had a car wreck in front of, Dairy Queen about a year or so ago. Did they ever put that pole back up?
I believe it's on the list.
You remember a car wreck?
I believe it's on the list.
It's on the list. And then y'all sent Southern Pine one too. Various Seafood, the median, north of the Various Seafood, Southern Pine, south is Energy. So I notified both of them, and like I said, Shane's put ribbons on them. They went out there one night.
And put the list in your office the other day.
Okay, I got it, got sent to them. Y'all any more questions?
While we're on energy, I just want to thank them, they're not here tonight, but Brent and Susan Walker took one evening and went through the whole city and wrote down like 16 different lights, and they got 15 of those 16 street lights turned on. And they didn't have to do that, they took the
No.
time out and volunteered and did it, and I appreciate it.
I do too, 'cause they got,
If more people would be proactive, it would help,
Yeah.
yeah.
what you was talking about, Mark, you know, what you said on the site, on their website.
Allison, did they ever get that light fixed?
Susan, Brent and Susan got it.
Well,
Yeah,
Mark had already
I
reported
I
it.
reported that.
Good.
And all.
Yeah.
I mean,
Brett,
that's,
They
we done
reported
it.
it too. but it-
okay,
They
well,
reported a bunch of
good, it
them.
got done.
Yeah.
Okay.
The squeaky wheel.
No, but he said it's on the website and, you know, very easy to go in there and what my suggestion may be is the police, if they're patrolling at night, if they see a street light out, they can call the dispatcher and say, we got a street light out at 511 8th Avenue Southeast. She can just go in there and type it in. They ain't got to stop what they're doing. Can y'all handle that?
Sir, yes, sir.
'Cause, I mean, the way Brent talked is very easy
Yeah.
to do it. No, you know, if y'all
Also,
get
there's-
patrolling, and
there's
then just,
a link on
the
the video.
dispatchers won't take them just a few seconds to do that, and that, maybe that'll keep some of our street lights lit. We thank you.
There's also a link on Magee News that sends you straight to Energy.
Okay, are they okay?
Hey, did we get the water situation at the airport fixed with this $3,000 water?
Yeah,
They-
they,
John
I
explained.
had to call and file the claim, but they said go ahead and pay it and then they'll reimburse.
Luana, they said, all they give us is, credit on 25% of it.
2,500.
2,500, my fault.
Yay,
Well, that's good, that's good. And they said, go ahead and pay it, and then they'll take it off the next few months.
that's
So
helpful.
that's
Very
good
helpful.
news.
Mhm.
All right, y'all got anything to put in that, John?
I make a motion for the claims document.
Second.
Mark has a motion, Luana second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, this time, prior to one senior citizen building, is Whitney here?
No, but I got a text
Yeah,
from her. And, Miss Patricia Magee,
Right, she, Tricia, right out there.
okay, would you like to come up here?
You can stand up or you can come
You
here.
are,
That's our new employee that they're recommending.
yeah. The senior city, priority one, senior city center committee, I'll get it out here in a minute. I'm reading this text. Presenting Mrs. Patricia Magee for hire as a meal program coordinator for the senior center. So the board, the committee voted unanimously and chose her and recommended her for the job. Once she is approved, the committee will begin meeting with her to begin preparations to launch the meal program. So we need to vote on it.
Need to vote on, they tell you 20 hours, $12 an hour. That's right. Yeah, okay, because that's their recommendation, what the committee recommended.
So I make a motion.
All right, Mark.
Recommendation.
Luana, second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, good. Okay, while we're still on that building there, Tim had, did he leave with you, Jay John? We got the insurance claim on the roof, and we got 4 bids. And I know the highest one was 31, the lowest was 17.
32 to 17.
Yeah, 32 to 17. And, but,
He took them with him.
yeah, he had them this morning in his office, but, I tell you what, I'll try to send y'all.
What did the insurance company say?
They gonna pay, I'd rather, put this, I'll tell you after, we're gonna be all right. Insurance companies are good, we're gonna be all right. Yeah, they
cover most of it at least.
more than most. Yeah. All right. Okay, I'll let y'all know on that, but Tim had it ready today. Okay. Public Works team, Tim, I said Tim's wife got sick. We are gonna, we got Windsor Street fixed. They're pretty close on First Street. We are gonna pave the culvert there on, Kelowna Drive. Tim's crew is gonna pave it themselves. And, I wanna thank the Central Camp Board of Supervisors. We did not have a flat roller for the asphalt, and the Board of Supervisors only used ours. And that's what Tim said. My crew can do it, I just need a flat roller. So called the supervisor yesterday and they said, come get it, we welcome to use that. So that's where we're on that now. If you board, y'all got any more questions? I'll try to answer them for Tim. Now, here, if y'all got any questions.
I'm not for Tim. You told me that they supposed to be, you got the price on striping,
Oh, yeah, it's, guy didn't got
We were waiting.
waiting on him, we got POs to the Co-op Road.
Striping what?
Co-op Road.
Co-op Road, yeah. Yeah. It was real cheap, but, waiting on him, I guess the weather's got him messed up. Scared of the rain. Yeah, y'all know anything else y'all need to ask me about Tim, I'm trying to answer. All right. Okay, police department matter, Shane's a little under the weather, y'all, that's why he don't want to come in here.
I'm good, but I don't want to contaminate nobody in any place. But the only thing I have is some personnel matters, possible employment, and to remove personnel off the roster for executive session.
We're gonna need that, so okay.
Okay.
We'll get that at the end. All right. Zoning, Penny.
I have so much stuff, I'm sorry. Next Tuesday night, the 13th of February, the zoning board will hold a hearing for dimensional variance for S&S Builders. That publication notice has already been approved. But on March 12th, the zoning board will hold a hearing for conditional use for Daniel Ferguson. He wants to do some work on some of his buildings down here on Main Street. So we need to approve, I'm going to ask you, if you will, to approve this publication for that conditional use hearing.
You just need a motion to approve this. Okay.
Sam, you got a motion? You got the second?
Second.
All right, Patrick, second, all in favor? Okay.
Thank you, board. Next piece of news is very, very good. The city of Magee has won another grant from the CMPDD. They're wonderful and they love us and they help us so much. So they are paying for 2 interns for our city. That they have a career coaching grant program, so we applied for that and we got that, and we have these 2 wonderful students that I'm going to meet with on Friday to see if they can be a match for our city, and so I'm pretty excited about that. Really, really good opportunity for them, for us, for everybody. So that was my second thing. Third thing is the CMPDD property maintenance app is now completed and it's been shared with us. And I have instructions on how to log in. You don't have to have, on how to get the app, how to go to the app store, how you can log in on your iPads. I have that for you. But it's about 37 steps. They're not hard, but it's a lot. But so if you want me to help you with that, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
It's not, it's just you go find the app and then you have to jump through some hoops. But I've already started using it.
We don't have rights to download it on these apps. We can't do that. We can't download it on these apps by ourselves. Ben has to do it.
Right. But he's already put the suite in there.
Okay.
They did it with, CMPDD added it what we already had that he had already put in. Yeah, thank you for that, good clarification. Last Friday, the fire marshal and I visited with residents at the mobile home park at City Park and documented many ongoing issues pertaining to life safety, fire, property maintenance, and zoning. Today, I spoke with Ms. Tammy Stelly in Hattiesburg. She's the new manager of the City Park mobile home park, which is now under new ownership. She's eager to work with our team to clean up the area to make it safer, more attractive, and has requested a list of recommendations based on our visit on Friday. I supplied her those recommendations and informed her that our building inspector and fire marshal are happy to go and perform any inspections on any home, any mobile home that she or the residents wish for us to inspect. She was very receptive to this offer and told me verbally on the phone that the first thing that she would do is to make sure that the illegal RVs would be removed from the park.
Thank you.
So I was very happy. We're very happy to hear that from her. She's very eager to work with us.
Very honest and frank, Penny.
So when they move those away, do they have an option of moving other stuff back in? Since it wasn't a mobile home there?
Yeah, well, so they can't. That's the other thing that we gave them a recommendation about, and this was from Shane, and I thought it was so awesome that everybody had a little bit of input on that because it didn't occur to me. But one of the recommendations was that she needs to put everything on lots. Like right now, things are kind of squeezed in, and RVs are squeezed in, and they're not on lots. I mean, they're not supposed to be there to begin with. But also, you can't really locate things unless you wander around and look at the numbers because nothing's really organized. So she said that she would do that. So no, they will not be moving in. There's no room to move in a trailer where those RVs were. So now, actually, one of them there could be.
One of them's under a carport. One of the portable carport.
Yeah.
The RV was backed up under there.
Yeah, and had already caught on fire at least once. Had already had at least one fire thing. It's very unsafe. So I'm just very happy that she's going to work with us on that. As you know, in December, I sent letters to all the apartment complexes in the city to inform them about bulk trash such as furniture and debris pickup. Today, I have heard from Colonial, Hillside, Eastgate, and Park Place. Raleigh Annex, Eastside Manor, and Azalea have not responded yet. Woodgate never has a problem. High Speed Living is remodeling, and they have said that they will revamp their garbage as well. So the awareness has been raised, and those managers are calling, and they are contacting, and they are saying that they will work with us, and I think that's positive progress. Of course, it's going to be, people do what you inspect, not what you expect sometimes, so we'll do that, continue to do that, but I thought that was pretty good that they're taking responsibility for that, and they're reaching out, and they're responding, so. Let me give you a quick overview of the update on the community house. So today, the roof is complete, the siding is complete, the wall on the stage has been repaired, the HVAC is installed. We're having a time getting those big heaters down, but Tim's working on it. Painting is finished for the most part. And then yesterday, maybe today, I don't know what day it is anymore, Allison got a really awesome quote. I'd gotten a quote on putting LED lights instead of the fluorescents that are in the main room, but it was like $3,800, and I thought, oh, that's a lot. So she got a different quote from a company that contracts with Entergy when they go and do the energy updates. And that was $4,016, but with the amount that they would give us for Entergy's contribution, it would be $1,266.
Great.
Which is amazing. But the holdup on this is that we have a quote that we're trying to get on the ceiling. Instead of replacing ceiling tiles, which we don't love anyway, we're trying to figure out if we could use the real ceiling that was up there. So that's not done yet. Is that right, Allison? We're waiting for that. But I think that would be a better use of the money than, spending it if we don't have to. We could just.
If we put it back in condition that it was to
Yeah,
begin
it would
with.
definitely be historic preservation if we could do that. We don't know if we can do that or not, but we're gonna try to do that. So, okay, let me get to my phone. So the next thing, I'm gonna need Mr. Valade to come on up here and talk with me about the weather situation. So he's been very generous in sharing some of the weather stuff with me, and so it's going to be next week. It's going to be severe weather preparedness. You talk and I'll pass these out.
Without just having the appearance of throwing her on the bus. Talked to the police chief and the fire chief, and what I've been doing is trying to educate her in the areas of emergency management, because if I leave in the June area, somebody needs to step up to the plate. The fire chief and the police chief are gonna be out there with emergencies, and so that's not the best choice. So I've asked her to do that. The people in emergency management need to be centralized at some sort of command post or a center. And so I've been asking her and getting some training for her. So that's why I'm qualifying that. Is I've been asking her for help and getting her introduced to it. What you're being shown is a weather situation that next week is severe weather awareness week. And the severe weather awareness week has every day has a certain thing assigned to it. I want to bring your attention to Valentine's Day on Wednesday. Statewide tornado drill. Now that originally was set up for the school systems. And what they wanted to do, all the school systems have weather awareness and have a tornado drill, which is required under state law to have a tornado drill, so they want to do it statewide. Since that time, there's been some sort of procedures and progress toward activating community sirens and things like that. It throws our public safety arena in a disarray. Our communications is overwhelmed when we set these sirens off unnecessarily. And I'm not saying it's an unnecessary thing, except we don't have a way to notify the public everybody doesn't get the message. And it's gonna get flooded. Dispatch is gonna get flooded with calls while the sirens go out every single time. We tested them yesterday, I believe.
Yeah, you had one
Tested them
cemetery.
yesterday. We had one cemetery down, got it fixed, set the siren off. Even the building inspector was getting, what's going on with the sirens, you know? It was just one siren that we were testing, but we had to blow all of them. An update on that as well, it's fixed, and that gentleman is providing us with information and quotes to upgrade our system, the communications part of it, so that we can activate one or all. We can if we have to work on one, we can activate one or all. We'll keep you informed on that. I'm getting close on that. The weather, the National Weather Service, I try to keep y'all up to date with it. It's really nothing out of the ordinary. This time of year is kind of a changing pattern. But the cold weather's coming back. But what is at the very bottom, at the very end, it's hinting that we're going to have colder weather in 2 weeks. Maybe some winter still. It's hinting toward that. So I just wanted to let y'all know we're still in the weather pattern. We may have some winter weather to still deal with and some precipitation, because we are in a wet season. Cold weather and wet, we don't have ice or snow or both things. So it could happen. It's not saying it will, but it could happen. And that's all I have for the weather.
Okay. Do we need to make a motion for Penny to be the emergency manager?
That's up to you all, and the reason why I'm just giving her the training, because even if I was the director, I would ask for her help. You understand?
You need somebody in-house, not out in the field.
Right, we need somebody here to kind of organize everything, and she's great at that, so I've been trying to kind of get her, and she has a want to do that. That's the reason why I've done it.
Would you be willing to do it, Penny?
I would, and I've already started training for it. It's very close to my heart. I think it's a very, very important thing. And I remember I have very vivid, probably traumatic memories from Hurricane Camille.
Yeah.
I remember that. I was just a child, but I remember the house rocking. And I don't think I could ever get over that. And I didn't understand when I was a child. But then when I got older, I thought, how did we make that? How did we live through that?
Almost didn't make it.
It was all the other people who were helping us get through it that I had no idea about. It's always been close to my heart. So I have Travis pointed me to some really good training, and I've already got a lot of that. And in fact, I'm prepared for our preparedness week. I've got stuff that I'll put all over our social media about tornadoes and thunderstorms and alerts. I've got all of that, so I'm pretty excited about it, actually.
It falls right along with community development. It falls right in that process there. So that's the reason why I did that. So,
We need to make it.
Y'all want to make a motion?
I make a motion that we, with Charlie's recommendation, if we make any or emergency management.
Hey, how much money do you want?
None. Don't want no money. Don't want no
That's the
money.
best kind.
That's right. Sammy has the motion,
Second.
Malone second, any discussion? All in favor? All right, thank you.
Thank y'all, boys, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie.
Parks and Rec, Jimmy Zill.
Before you go, the trash over at Walmart, around those ponds, is terrible. Who's responsible for that? Walmart, the state, Murphy, who?
No,
They're doing a big,
answer the
renovation.
question. I talked to a guy down here at Bank, he's been manager, he said, give him time. And he said, when I was there, we need, Walmart will pay a mulcher to come in there and mulch
It's
that.
up by Jose's too on that bank. It's
Okay.
everywhere.
Yeah, and this, and when we get caught up in weather, there's a beaver dam, Tim, that's going to break the bridge too.
I just
I'll-
noticed it, so
I'll let you know.
I was just asking, I'm not listening.
No, Kara's working with Walmart too on their
Good to know.
renovation and all the disposal and all that kind of stuff. And Charlie's working with them on the parking.
We want to thank you and Charlie and Kara for all y'all do, and you have our support.
Thank you, sir.
All right, brother Jimmy. Jimmy's in the road, start to pull up, pick up, and off ball baseball.
Yeah, the numbers I have, we're at 141 as of today. Whereas we was, think what we say, 7 last Tuesday, so.
20-something
It's come
total.
up, I have a feeling we'll have 200 Friday, so it'll be a crazy day around
What do you
City Hall.
normally get? What do you normally get? What's the-
It varies. I think last year we was at about 500 when it was all said and done. Now, our older kids don't register till they get through with junior high program. So we usually have about 70 or 80 then. So if we're at about 420, I think we'll be good. And I think tomorrow and Friday, I think we'll see 250. So I think we'll be right at the 400 from the last two when it's all said and done. Plus, we'll have the next couple of weeks where we have our strikes and everything. The things we were talking about was city field rentals, and we had approved at the last board meeting $500, but as we came back thinking it was too much for the local people who had been here, so we have revamped the prices for local teams, keeping the $500 for non-local teams. We had to come up with a definition of local teams, and we said local teams have their select teams based in Simpson County and have at least 50% of their players on the team from Simpson County, or the teams based in Simpson County and have at least 50% of their players playing in our city recreational league. That would be considered local teams. And that was the easiest way to do it, instead of giving out miles and radiuses and having to see where address falls. If they are from Simpson County or participate in our league, we consider them local.
Jimmy and I talked about this the other day here at City Hall, and I agreed with what he said on it.
And everything.
But it's fair.
So I think we need to rescind what we said is $500 across the board, giving local teams a $250 a year, and non-local teams $500 a year, with the local teams getting first priority on the fields. That is to do it. So as a board, I would like that to happen.
I make a motion, accept Jimmy's recommendation.
Sam, you need a question?
We're amending what we.
The original.
approved, yeah.
Is the
We're
amendment.
going with this one, right,
Yeah.
from 500 to 250 for local.
Yeah.
We need to vote on amending first, Mark, before we,
It can all be a part of the same.
same thing, okay?
That's where I
We
was
good,
going.
all
I'm
right.
sorry. I didn't know.
Okay.
All right, Sam with the motion.
I say.
Hard second, any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
All right. Other thing I know y'all said come up with a yearly plan or 3 to 5 year plan. Well, I gave you a list, and we're going to go through, this is a list we came up with the things that needed to be taken care of at the park. And it showed how much the cost. And I was really worried about the cost on some of this stuff. So I reached out to Aldermen for Laurel. They built 4 girls' fields, not turf, dirt, and just a regular outfield, 2 years ago. And they built 4 more, which they opened this past April. So so the difference in the two, it cost $6 million to build that, the 4-field complex 2 years ago. It cost them $8 million when they got finished with everything last year. That's how much the price increase is happening. And that's what I say, either we're gonna have to start attacking this as what we can with 1 cent sales tax till we get it. And 2030, I think, is when the date is for us to roll it over. I'll have to get with Brett. So I'm going to try to sit down with him and talk to him about that. But this is just to let y'all see what it is and then try to come up with a more realistically yearly step plan. How we have to do it, because some of it is, the lights in the parking lot is $600,000 and over $1 million to redo these type things for the park. So I just wanted to let you see the repairs that we have as of right now. We're making finagle stuff in and out over the next year or two, and that's how we're going to attack it. And I'm going to get with Brett and sit down and do that when we can. We'll be at City Hall here Thursday and Friday helping the ladies, expecting 200 to 300 people to come in. So me and Daniel will be here helping them fill out forms and stuff. For that, next week, we got 3 high school games starting on Thursday night. Mount Zion, the high school girls and the high school boys will all begin their season down at the complex. So it'll be that. And then next weekend, we have 37 teams scheduled to come in to Magee for a 1 day. So it'll be a long day that day, boys baseball.
Okay. Give us a little update. We got 37 teams coming, but we're only renting the fields to them, and whoever putting on the tournament will receive the gate fee, the entry
Like
fee,
they,
pay
just like
umpires.
they do everywhere else.
So you
They
get
pay umpires.
$100 per field, which if they use all 8 fields, it'll be $800.
They will use all 8 fields for 37 teams.
So we'll get $800, but we will get the 3,000 to 4,000 people that come in town that shopping in Magee that weekend, spending at the local businesses here in town, bringing revenue in.
Barry's already called and asked, and I usually tell every restaurant and stuff like that. And with what we did last year with Barry's has already came on as a sponsor this year for one of our baseball teams. They say we bring so much money and help them out so much that they're going to be a sponsor this year.
Okay, have you got any more applications to replace the?
No, I've got one, and that's what I was going to make sure that I could go ahead and start seeking out applications.
Yes,
to
we got to
replace.
have somebody else. If we're going to have all this, you got to have some help.
So, just for the Austin that I lost and everything, I want to make sure I could go ahead and refill that spot.
We've got to be sure our parks are being taken care of. I noticed that Earl Everett Park is not being blown off or cleaned up at all. So that needs to be on our list. And also, you know the extra bleachers that are down at the field by your building?
The 4, yes, ma'am.
Are they going anywhere particular?
Well, we put out extra ones at locations that we had. Then we didn't want to just clutter it up.
Right.
If anybody else sees a place where they think we may need or use.
Do we have any at Marvin Jackson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Got one.
Do we need more?
I took 2 more over there.
Okay.
I put 1 at each end the last time.
Okay,
Now, unless something happened to them, I haven't been, we put 1 at each end on the original, I think on the original court. I'll check it tomorrow.
And the tenants, didn't you say they really don't want them at
And,
tenants?
well, they didn't, but
Now they
then, now they said, but we have put them in, where we put them is they're right up against the back of the, restrooms. And they say that way, it sort of provides them shade
That's good.
that they can get under and stuff like that. And it's up against the building, so the teams can go there and sit
Yeah.
when they're not playing.
We really need to get that area cleaned up as we go into baseball season with the high school teams as well as our regular local. And with these people.
The tennis.
Tennis, but even those bleachers, I wish we could get them moved from down there. But like you said, we need a place to put them.
I mean, without just sitting them in grass and then you're having, one person's can't move them by themselves. So it'd have to be a location.
Like that and stuff.
Like I say, where we put them out there, it was gravel at the ends of it. So we can spray gravel because we didn't cut it anyway, so it's easy to spray. In that case.
What about our potholes in the parking lot of the complex? Someone called me about them. That's on that list.
That's
That's what it said, it was
$600,000
$600,000 to repay that parking lot.
Repay the park. And that's them taking up what's there.
What about patching?
I think she was in reference to just patching the potholes we got there now.
Yeah.
I think we've got hot mix.
We did, sure did.
We'll have to get them.
You may want to give it 10, yeah.
Okay. Got any more questions for Jimmy?
Just thank you for what you do.
And Jim?
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, Beanie, animal control matters.
Good.
You're good.
11/19/11/24, so 1/30/24, 6 calls back, 5 orders served, 5 complaints taken, 5 tickets has been issued. There've been 3 dogs impounded, 1 dog had a citation, 1 dog was surrendered. Saturday there was 5 puppies picked up by one of my volunteers. Two of them dogs had been adopted. Saturday I got a case started over at Kennedy Drive. It's still going. Atkinson, that case is still going. It should be coming to court in this month. That's all I got with it.
You still in good shape on dog feed?
Oh, yeah.
People poured their heart out, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's great.
We discussed this today, which in the budget, we gotta spend $200 to treat penis for parvo, right? You can say $200.
I talked to a vet,
Uh-huh.
and he said, basically, what all I can do is keep doing what I'm doing.
Okay.
And just, bleach the concrete,
Okay.
but, it's out there in the dirt, and there's no treatment. He said they gave me, 2 options, what I can do, and I'm gonna have to do something quick. Either move it, and the new pound be completely concrete, or if I rebuild what I got, all that's gonna have to be concrete too. It will not live on concrete, but it's, once it gets in the dirt, 7 years.
What is the situation on the one down at McNair Room?
But I've been told about it.
What now?
So, now I'm back to square one, but I've got to attack that. I'm gonna have to move it or try to rebuild what I got.
What would you told them know about McNair Springs?
It'll take away space. They got stuff stored there, which that's understandable and I understand.
Who has stuff stored there? What kind of stuff?
I don't know, I didn't ask.
Just, the Christmas decorations,
Oh.
I didn't ask.
stuff like that, yeah, that's what
I
it's
figured that wasn't none of my business, so I didn't ask
Yeah.
that question. But I'm gonna if I get y'all approved, we at least start getting some quotes and bids. Because if I could find an existing building somewhere, that would be perfect. I wouldn't have to go ground up.
Right, right.
If I went ground up, you're gonna have to add water, light, gas for heat. If I had a building that was existed, had all that, I don't know what that's gonna be at. That would cut a lot of expense down. I got 2 kennels, like I reported to you, back in December, donated one by Deputy Grubbs. And I don't know if he was in with the lady from Nashville. I didn't know nothing about a lady from Nashville. Donated. That's where it's coming in at. She donated one. I didn't know nothing about no Nashville, Tennessee, until somebody said, well, you do know. It shocked me. I said, I'm getting popular.
Is there anything in that building still down at, with the old center ones down there, with the, Wood Road down there?
Well, yeah, that's
Somebody
what I'll
renting
tell
that
y'all. And Mark and I was working on it, that there may be one that's coming open down there, and that would be perfect. That would be perfect. Yeah, we've got both of them leased out, but one of them they may turn in their lease, and that would be perfect. Me and I discussed that. That's one we discussed, you know.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah. You know, I tell you, man, you didn't Joe's there.
One last thing, I was called today by, I don't know if he was here or not, Mr. Ball, talking about these, kennels. He asked, could it be put out, I wish he was here.
He
was here.
There he is back there.
You wanna help me out with this?
If you need me. I made a suggestion today to Benny, and he asked if I'd speak to it, so that's why I'm up. Yeah, I've heard him make reference in here discussing a project about relocating or adding another animal shelter somewhere. I know there's been talk about McNair Springs. But he made a comment in here about needing kennels. He said 10 at the time, about getting them possibly donated, which I think is a good idea. And by the way, animal control is his repertoire. It's his thing. He's good at it.
He's done a great job.
Yeah. Now, as far as getting the kennels, and I don't know if this is an official city project or not, but I'm assuming if not, it can be recognized as one or sanctioned as one at least, so it can buy the kennels tax exempt. But to get the kennels possibly donated, I thought we have means of, how many you got now? Two. 4, counting the 2 I told you about. You got 4. But we got Facebook, we got the website, and I guess this meeting gets broadcast, or your board meetings, and I don't know, Magee News, if that's free advertisement either. But I was thinking, maybe enticement for people who want to donate, whatever it costs, $300 last figure he gave me. Put out there and give them the opportunity if they want to donate, then it could be donated in honor or in memory of someone. I know my daughter wants to donate one, and she wants to do it in memory of, in honor of her, in memory of her spouse that passed away, who was a great animal lover. I'm no real animal fancy, I'm telling you. But the Creator did give us dominion over them, so I guess we need to help them out when we can. But anyway, that was it. I just thought some way, maybe a little enticement to give somebody, maybe even come up with a very inexpensive little plaque to put on the kennel, donated in memory of, in honor of such and such, or anything like that. That was it. That was my 2 cents.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. I'll get some quotes, or the concrete and labor and, stuff like that. Try to have it do.
Hang on a minute, we may have a building coming up, just wait a few
That'll
minutes.
cut it a lot too.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
That's all I got.
Thank y'all, okay. This time, we're gonna do airport matter, we're gonna do it 2 different ways. First of all, I talked to Joe McNaught today, he's the chairman of the committee, Larry Darch is the vice chairman. And Joe had me out of time, he's just tell y'all, the committee's meeting the 4th Tuesday this month. And he said, let you know, we range recommendations. We're gonna do 2 photos tonight. Kiefer's here, gonna tell us how much money we got coming. And then Joey, the committee's appointed Dusty Drennan to kind of oversee the airport on a part-time basis. I'll let Dusty tell you what he's doing. I'll let Kiefer's gonna come first on the money, and Dusty on the maintenance out there. Where's Kiefer, you stand or you walk up here?
Okay, thank you. Well, I just stand here. Well, you have about $336,000 of bipartisan infrastructure money, which is the spending the time. And then the money that we're waiting, on Congress, to pass the budget, bill, and then you have about 300 and some thousand, and that's about $640,000, somewhere in that range. That's how much money you have available in your account, that you haven't used.
Kiefer, you know, like on that, can you use it to improve those hangers out there?
Yes, you can use the money for almost anything, for, repainting the hangers, re-skinning the hangers, or as well as you plan on redoing the fencing in order to have automatic gates that would kind of, that would have codes for people going in and out, and also on the entrance gate to the terminal area. Yes.
I know that.
And that's projects you've already seen in. We have
Okay,
had.
I know when we toured it, Charlie, hangers 1 through 6. Charlie recommended individual meters. Right now, 1 meter controls all 6. Am I right, Charlie?
Individual
Right, that's right. Meter, yeah, that's correct. Am I right on that? That's what
Yeah, we get a new meter box and have individual shut offs for each one of them.
Can we spend that money on?
Yes, so go ahead and just determine what you want, and then get it to me, so I can go ahead and get it to your new program manager. Because I talked to him today, and he's the one that kind of gave me the numbers on that. But again, they're still waiting on Congress to kind of, do the budget before they have some of the other funds, like your non-primary entitlement funds. But the $336,000, you can use it at any time, because that money is not geared to Congress at all. Once that budget was passed, that money is available for you.
So when this committee meets, we can tell them they got 300,000.
336,000.
336,000.
And then you can just come up with the projects that are eligible, and I'll go ahead and get them to your program manager, and we'll go ahead and get those projects started.
And also, you're working on paperwork. You're working on.
Oh, yes, I'm also working on a airport manual, which will have all the things that you would do as an airport manager manual for low activity, small GA airports, but it cover all the things like administrative requirements as well as operational requirements, and have appendices showing all the different things that you should do and things like that. Yes, and I should have that finished real soon. Yes.
I met with Kiefer this afternoon out at the airport with Dusty and Susie, and I learned a lot the short time I was there. Real eye-awakening, and I thank Kiefer for what he was doing, trying to get everything lined up and in line, and work that he's done on that.
Well, I guess I'm confused, because I don't remember us voting on who was going to volunteer to be there.
The committee, all right.
We haven't approved anything.
Mark, we address that, but you sit on that committee.
I sit on which committee?
You know, when the airport committee
But
met.
we hadn't voted on it.
And I left Alice. I can't sit here and the Alderman can.
Yeah, well, I think the only thing that the airport board did was send
Supposed to recommend.
Here's E15.
was, I don't think there was a description at the time as to whether or not the position was gonna be full-time or part-time. And they kept minutes at their meeting, and I think if it was gonna be a part-time, that Mr. Drennan's name was mentioned as a potential candidate for that, but they had the clear understanding that the board was gonna set the parameter on whether it be part-time or
But did
full-time.
we vote on it, John? Because I don't remember us voting on it.
We haven't
Okay.
approved anything, and
Well,
But if there's any discussion that can be had on it, it perfectly qualifies for personnel.
I just want to make sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing legally.
Yeah.
Okay.
so, but we haven't made, what we had talked about without voting on it is voluntary basis and all, and, so we haven't, anything that's being done right now is voluntary. My understanding. Is that what y'all understood?
Y'all let me come on up, we'll get to the bottom of it.
Huh?
Y'all let me come on up, we'll get to the bottom of it.
yeah.
Job description.
They still work.
I'm waiting on something from the
Come
city
on,
of Drew.
y'all, you want to do this? Come on. Come on, this.
Good afternoon, Board Mayor. So we'll get back to that in a minute. We're gonna go over what we've been doing, all right? We'll get back to that in a second. And my notes are kind of everywhere 'cause I've been writing down, so make it online. So my understanding was there was a special meeting and we also, to how we got to why I'm doing, I've got all this, been doing the, basically the management is, so it got, it's supposed to be a special board meeting and the recommendation from the board was supposed to be presented. And anyways, and then we had, also we had insurance companies email to make sure, even though if it was a voluntary basis, will we covered under the city's workers' comp? They said we was, and so I went to work, but we'll talk about that in a second. So, but I've been out there working for about a week now, all right? With, once I found out that I was covered under the city's insurance, all right? So, in the last week, we found, so we went and did our first runway check, safety check, found happy lights were not working. We also had a pilot report that to us, and I did find that to be correct. Happy lights were out. We had a breaker off in the, there was a breaker thrown and 3 lights that were blown. We had 3 runway lights that was out, with one of them that had been hit by a plane on landing and was leaning towards the runway. Those are the first 2 things that we took care of. The happy light and NOTAM has now been lifted. I went out there with.
Would you explain? I mean, as far as aviation, what is the happy light?
So it's precision approach lighting for the glide slope to come in the airport for safe landings, to keep you out of the trees. So 2 up, like if you're 2 of them's red and 2 of them's white, and you're on perfect glide slope. If all 4 of them are red, you're too low. They said all in the red, you're dead. So you're going to hit trees before you hit runway. If you don't, and if you got all whites, you're too high. So it's a landing system at night when you're having a visual approach. You put those lights where they are, and you know you're on the perfect glide slope, and you hit the numbers every time. You can use them in a day too, if they're working. And FAA will come in unannounced, and they'll shoot approach to make sure it's working and proper and nothing's in line for safety issues. And so they are up and working, and they're back on. I found 2 lights in supply. We had 3 lights out, so it had to stay out a little longer than necessary. But when I ordered 5 to make the full complete, and then if we got a lightning strike and bullets blow again, we can do a total thing, and then we can I like to keep spares. Anything that's gonna go out and can go out, I like to keep spares so nothing's down, no safety issues are down. So I ordered 5, we got 4 in spare. We got like 2 or 3 cases of runway lights to plug in. And Tim helped me on some of this stuff. And the light at the end of the runway where the plane had hit, we took it. We actually replaced that whole housing and bulb. So the lights we took care of. Susie had took on some projects. She contacted Rebel Gas and has got. She was supposed to she had agreed to make sure she work on the fuel while I was working on some other things. So Susie contacted Rebel Gas, and they're in line to get to us to fix the sump pump. But I've actually I found the one that was on the Jet A tank was under the Jet A tank, so I'm taking it to my shop. I'm gonna take it apart and see if I can't get a repair kit and keep Rebel out of it. I'm gonna take it apart. Put new gas. I'm gonna try to see if I can.
You found the pump that was missing off the back of that tank?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
O-ring kits and stuff. We really don't know right now how much fuel is in our tank. We don't have the passwords to the system that runs that system. We got passwords to the Wi-Fi and to a DVR. They was wrote down and left. I asked John to recover those for me, and that's the only one. He told me they was on a piece of paper. However, we still can't get into that. I've also lost contact. I was in text with the previous manager, and I lost contact, and I've not been able to have a good transition. Back to the pump, so I'm gonna try to take it apart and see if I can't find an O-ring, and we get John to order that parts, that will repair kit for that pump, and then, if not, then if that one won't accept a kit, then I'll check the one that's on there. I thought I was right, but I got told that the sump pump was electric motor. When I got out there and Kiefer had shown me the sump, it's actually a manual pump, like you pump out of a barrel. And that's what it does, and I'm used to those, so I know what it's working. I know how it works and what it's doing. So it ain't electrical. I'm good. And we'll check on that and see if we can't get y'all an update on that sump pump. We can keep the bill down from Rebel. So also, a couple things we've done. Susie got Tim to go out and change the lights on the exterior to give it lights, and it was perfect timing because Joey and Morgan came in with their whole people from a meeting in Texas. Me and Tim was out there to change the lights. He come home and checked out, and all of a sudden Joey and his daughter and the 8 girls that they took to a business meeting out in Texas come in on a King Air 350 when it got at dark time, so it was all lit up for them, and Joey's part of the board, so it was perfect timing that was prepared. She also took out some trash. I swept and mopped it and cleaned the hanger up. It's been swept and mopped. It was smelling pretty bad. She found food in the trash. Kiefer talked about the meeting earlier, and they brought up that he's got a lot of our manuals for different programs, like the fuel pump program, the sump pump, runway, the stuff in the vault. He got all those manuals, and he's putting together basically an operations manual for whoever's going to be the manager out there, and it will include like check daily stuff that needs to be done, every 2 days stuff, and so we're trying. He's putting that together. And he just starts to be patient with that. He would take all our manuals and actually try to plug in how to with the equipment that we have at the airport. All right. Let's see. So I think the chief of fire came and talked to you a while ago. So it was kind of crazy how it worked out. There were several ideas I had. One of them was I knew we had like a $60-something thousand quote to cut the grass, to maintain the grass out at the airport. And I was like, we used to have agriculture people coming out there and cutting the hay. And so I talked to Kiefer, and he said, yeah, I was on my way home. I made my phone calls. I was going to talk to Kiefer. He said, yes, there's regs out there to follow, but you're able to do it. And he went over to what he knew of the regs and telling me that. And I got here talking to John about getting the passwords, and Dave walked in and said, hey, I got this farmer that's wanting to know if he can cut the hay out there. I mean, it was the same thing. It's like, wow. And so I actually there's 2 farmers, and y'all can let me know if y'all want me to go forward with this or stop this. But they're wanting to meet me out on Friday, and they're wanting to ride the property to see what it would take to make the reason that the hay quit being cut on the property is because the property is too rough. The farmers were tearing up equipment. So when the 2 farmers that called and said, hey, can we disc and level those spots? And so I called Keith, and he said that was possible. So I let them know, yes, it's possible. He said, well, can we ride out Friday and ride the airport over and see how much work it'd be? But what they want to do is, for in exchange for taking care of everything outside the safety zone, which is 30 feet off the side of the runway, or 75 feet from center, is they want to exchange the taking care of your grass for the bales of hay. So y'all can either pursue that or just let me know whether to continue with the meeting with him on Friday or not. So
as long as they meet the regulations that Kiefer set forward, we're not out any expense.
How often is hay cut?
He said he wouldn't let it get over 18 inches. And plus, we're already cutting, the city is going to have to maintain the 75 feet from the line, which is about 30 foot off the runway, and it has to be kept short. But that outside that safety area, you know, it can go a little bit, but it can't never get so high that it starts blocking out lights. And I don't think with the other 30-foot area being cut around the whole runway that you're ever gonna have that. I mean, they're gonna cut hay at 18, 20 inches high anyway, so I don't think it's ever gonna get to that area that you're. So go ahead with it or continue
I'm
that
good
or
with it.
not?
What about everybody else?
Yeah, we talked to you, you said it's good, Law. Right?
Yeah, and I will let you know, what the regs say on where you can cut hay, yes.
We need to make a motion on this and get this in a
Well,
minute.
I'll bring it up. I mean, I'm just asking, you want me to
We might need
continue
some
with it?
names before we vote on
Yeah.
anything, we can't just go
Yeah,
with
pursue
generic
it.
people.
That's what I'm saying. I need to make sure that the farmer still wants to do it before I'm just wanting to know, do you want to do?
Yeah, but
do
you
want me to
said he
pursue it or
hadn't
not?
inspected it yet.
Huh?
You just say he hadn't
No.
inspected.
No.
It may not be worth this while.
It may not be worth its time. I'm just making, if y'all not into even the idea of having, I'm not gonna waste my time going out there and.
Yes,
hard.
yeah.
I say go ahead.
Yeah, pursuing that, so hay growing season only starts about April, May.
So there's, so there's one thing that we had talked about with Sammy out there this afternoon was there's some existing files, hangar agreements, legal files. I feel like that those, the hangar agreements and the issuing of the locks and the keys and signing all policies and legal documents needs to be kept here in the files at City Hall and all money exchanged here. I don't think we need to be dealing with payments at the airport because you got too many people doing duplicate things and it's causing files to get like it's crazy. Like it's hard to even figure out who paid what, when, and where because it's not all being done at the same place and it's
In the same order.
In the same order. And so I talked to Amanda and asked her if she would redo the way she's been filing it to where it's done by the hangar, not by the month. Because I mean, you have to go back months just to see how many people paid, because like I pay ahead on my hangar. And so you have to go back to find whatever month I paid so many months ahead to even know that I'm caught up. But instead of looking at my file, my hangar file. So just revamping that and making sure that all payments stay here. And if y'all good with that, I'll move the
I
files up
think it
here.
needs to go to City Hall here and one deputy clerk needs to be in charge of doing it. And it's all be done one way.
I just don't, no matter who's out there, I don't think the money needs to be exchanged out there. All right, the other thing, y'all had approved a key policy, a while back. And in that key policy, it did not say in there who would maintain copies of like master keys. It's just not telling where the key, who's holding keys. It's just a, hey, here's a lock the city's gonna provide, I need you to sign this paper and put it on your lock. It didn't say where the master key's gonna be located, who's gonna have access to my hangar. And so there's been some that's been reluctant because there's not a key policy of who to approach if something was coming missing out of my hangar. It's not, there's no policy saying that. So either do y'all want the committee to make recommendation, or do y'all want to fix the policy that y'all started? Because it's y'all's policy.
To me, the airport board would know more about the policy they need, and Kiefer and maybe Charlie and all, and
We still may have to vote on it.
yeah, we would have to approve it.
Yeah, no,
They would make a recommendation and the board would have to approve it.
right, but so
Let the airport board come up
okay,
with
that's my
recommendations.
question. Okay. So, all right, now I think that's all everything that's been going on and where we at with everything.
Y'all got any questions?
All right, so, so the creation of the airport committee came, we had a study meeting, a special meeting, and the creation of the airport committee came along. And the airport committee, the ordinance was created to create the airport committee. And everybody made their recommendations of who they wanted, and the committee was formed. First meeting, we voted president, vice president, secretary. And we seen the need that there needed to be somebody, because there was already safety issues out there that needed to be handled, and somebody that needed to be taken care of them immediately. And so it just came up, hey, anybody know? I said, look, I don't mind doing it, and I don't mind doing it as an intern until they fulfill that position. I said, I don't need it. And so they talked about it, and they said, does anybody else want to do this? And so then it went into a motion that Dusty, be recommended to the board as the interim airport manager until we fulfill the position at what order, and the rate would be at whatever the board approved. And that's how it was. And then you had a special meeting the next week, and
it never was brought up for us to vote on. We had just discussed among us that it would.
I gotta remember, this is a part-time position, not a full-time. Aldermen vote on full-time positions.
Any city employee that hired the board of aldermen has to vote on it to approve.
We vote on part-time.
So,
Yeah.
so anyway,
Vote on everything, job-wise.
let me lose the train of thought. So we had that, they had the meeting, and it was supposed to be presented to y'all at the next meeting, and I don't think Joey was able to come and present it. I, for somehow, wasn't told about the meeting to even come present, and the only person I know that's here was Miss Susie, and she told me she didn't present anything. So, but then I talked to a couple, and then I called maybe Sammy and then Mark, and I said, hey, I heard that it was okay for me to go out there and be manager, but I heard it got turned into, instead of y'all coming to agreements on a pay rate, y'all decided it needed to be it was going to be a voluntary thing. So, anyways, I need to know, like, which way y'all heading, because the board is going to need to recommend another manager if y'all are heading to the voluntary basis versus that, and I don't need to be spinning my wheels, because I did tell the two I talked to that I would finish the projects that I said I would finish, that I started, and I'll finish them. But if this is going to be a voluntary thing, then the board will re-recommend next week, and you'll have that, and I'll stay doing what I'm doing, unless you don't want me to finish the projects I started. Then we'll re-recommend at our July meeting, and at that time you'll have a volunteer manager, but it won't be me.
What we had discussed, was that it was going to be, until we can get everything in place, we wanted a voluntary person at the airport commission nominate a person to be airport manager.
And like I said, it may all be
term voluntary, no pay, until we can get things in place. I thank you for what you have done.
Oh yeah,
You have done a great job out
I'm
there.
gonna, and as I told the few I talked to, I started something, I'm gonna finish it, but however, it wasn't in the attention that I had it. But I'm gonna finish what I started, and it's that light system, and if I can fix that sump pump tomorrow in my shop, then I'm pretty much gonna be done with the projects that I started, other than talking with the farmer. But then I'll hand that over to whoever. But anyways, when the fuel tank is finished and up, somebody's gonna need to be out there, checking fuel daily and everything. And also, that was something else. I guess it probably needs to be a recommendation by the board, the airport board. But we need to decide who we're going to buy fuel from. Different fuel companies have different regulations, and of how often you check gas and this, that, and the other. And they also got different fuel schools you have to attend. And one may not recognize the other's fuel. So I don't forget who we've been buying fuel from, but I just know that different ones, some of them require you to check them every day of the week except for Saturday and Sunday. Some of them's like every other day. But you got different classes for different fuel companies, and we need to, and I guess we could, I guess I could present it to the board that we need to come up with a recommendation for y'all to decide who we're gonna buy fuel from. You know, usually you try to find out who's got the best fuel prices, and we may have to do a couple different, somebody may have to do a couple different fuel schools, and so we can purchase from different ones. But anyways, if I got any questions?
Thank you.
Very important, got there and you would, this afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, thank you. Building inspector, Kevin.
Thank you.
All right.
Before we get off, this was that notice, that ordinance that Dusty referenced, forming the airport board. This was just a notice of publication for that needs to be approved for the newspaper.
We need to vote to approve the airport board, Martin.
No, you just vote to approve this publication.
Approve the publication.
Make a motion.
Sammy? You got a second?
Second.
Art, second, all in favor?
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm gonna pass out this information. This is a revised, budget for, it's for the furniture that we looked at in the front, in the original company. I know that, and this is not something that we have to discuss today. Do you need a copy of this? This was the second company that we got pricing for. I think Penny sent this to you.
Yes.
It's twice the price on the first one. Did you get a copy? That's just the last page of it I gave to you. That's just the bottom, that bottom sheet. Again, this is ongoing. I think we have one other, don't we have one other quote to do? It's kind of a hybrid of some things. So I just wanted to keep you guys informed of what we've been doing so far. You can see that's not going in the right direction. This is an update to our permit fees that we've been discussing. I put together, this front page is kind of a summary of what our recommendations are. The first category is what we are currently. The second category is what we've proposed for new permit application fees, and this also includes new fees below. I reviewed this with the City of Laurel, with the City of Brandon, with the City of Pearl, with the City of Richland, and these are all in line with that. Some more so than others.
I'm fine with the recommendations. Anybody got any questions, or you still reading?
Now, there are other cities that have many more fees that we haven't included. We were just gonna start with some of the basic stuff first.
Are these like new keys down here? Okay, good. Oh, yeah.
I make a motion with accept the recommendation of these.
All right, Sammy has a motion.
These that we're using now have been in place since
2000.
2000? 24 years. Yeah, we need to get up to speed.
Okay, you got a second, Mark?
Yeah, I
Any,
say.
any discussion? All in favor? Mark, Mel, do we need to publish that in the paper, the new fees?
We will.
Well, do we need to, will it be in the form of a ordinance amendment?
Well, what we've been working on is updating our, permit application to meet what was passed last year, back in August. We're trying to update our permits, to include that information, our permit application online as well as in paper form. To include all that information, include all the new codes, it would include all the new permit fees, the zoning fees, that have got approved. When did you say those were approved?
July.
So it would include all of that. We're just trying to get it all together in one package.
Well, now, if I understand it right, you and Charlie and maybe Penny and Shane are working to get everything in uniform as far as what they need to do, get a form together, a welcome pack, I guess.
Yeah, we've worked on the welcome, Penny's done a good job of working on the welcome packet. We've also put together, Penny, Charlie, even Libby and Amanda, we've worked on a form that, it's a checklist of things that need to be done before you can get a license, a permit license, a privilege license. And that includes, going through the different departments and making sure that you've been approved by zoning, you've been approved by building department, you've been approved by, all the fire department, you've gotten your certificate of occupancy. So, we put together to make sure that all those happen before they get their papers.
Okay, do we have, that leading up to the next question, do we have anything in place? Or can I walk in here and say, I'm gonna open up a business at 511 8th Avenue Southeast and I need a business permit? And right now, the city clerk would
They will not at this point.
give us, we have it in place, they can't get them,
Yes.
nobody
They
can
have
get
the
a
forms up
permit
there.
unless it has been signed off on by y'all.
They know that that checklist has to be checked off by all of us.
Okay.
And it's been going quite well. Yeah. With that being said, we do have a certificate of occupancy that we are scheduled to approve for the Simpson Outdoor
Yes.
facility. We've been working with them. We did approve him to get his privilege license so that they needed to get that in order to order some of their merchandise. So we did allow that to happen, but Charlie and I were over there yesterday.
I talked to him this afternoon, he called me and said they having a ribbon cutting at 9 o'clock Thursday
So we're
morning.
gonna be there at 8 o'clock.
So you mentioned that privilege tax license. Do we have a running list of who's paid and who hasn't paid?
I don't know.
We got a penny on that.
Does it?
We got one.
And then just some other projects that we have. In town, we have Walmart, and I'm sure everybody's been to Walmart. They've seen all the stuff that's been going on, all the
You know,
moving
garbage
and
outside.
all the garbage outside. They have also called us about redoing the parking lot at some point. We've been working with, Charlie and I have been working with them about getting a site plan, and Charlie wants to get a new fire lane there for the fire department. So we've been working with them on that. I think I mentioned last week or the week before that Mill Creek has gotten their permit to do their work. They're gonna start on their site work soon. I know they were waiting on the rain to happen. We've had a few businesses restaurants that we've had to close down, because they haven't gotten their appropriate inspections, to reopen. And so we've been working with them. And then we've had lots of new drawings that have come in. I don't know if you've been in the boardroom in there, but it's stacked full of drawings that we've got to review. McAllister's has submitted drawings. They're redoing their dining room and kitchen. T-Mobile has finally submitted their drawings for review over next to Nukes. And then we've got several drawings for some residential housing that may be happening in town. One is currently being built on Goodwater Road. And then, what else? We've got several permits recently in the past couple months for solar panels to be installed. There's been several over on the east side, and then there's one on the north side. We have actually asked the rep to come in and give us a presentation on their product, since we are seeing a lot more. I think I've probably pulled had 3 or 4 permits done in the past 2 months for new solar panels. So we just have asked them to come in and give us a presentation on their product so that we can be aware of what to look at, become familiar with it, and make sure that we're giving them what they need. We've met with several people in town that we needed to meet with previously. We've scheduled meetings with them, and we're getting that wrapped up. This is very long, Bill.
Well, thank you for what you do.
Yes.
And, I hope y'all realize how much the board appreciates what you do.
Thank you very much.
And,
we are really trying.
know,
All of us, all 5 of us.
All I
not just 3
ask
of
for
us.
you to do, speak for me personally, is everybody plays by the same rules, and everybody's treated the same, regardless of who they are or where they are.
Yeah. No, I think we've got a great team, all 5 of us.
We have had businesses that we've had to go back and inform them that they have to go back and get their permits if they were already operating or something like that. And we have had those, but we're working on correcting them. And there are issues out there that we're having to address, and I think we invited a couple of the aldermen for a little field trip recently so that we can let them see what we are. We hope to be able to invite all aldermen, but we can only do a couple at a time, to see exactly what we're running into out there in the field sometimes. And I think it gives you all a new insight of what we're having to deal with on a daily basis.
It's out.
It may be something that we can easily correct, and then it may be something that we have to do a lot of homework on, and that's what we're running into. But the process is what we're trying to get to you all in a uniform basis, whether it be a building project or a demolition or a cleanup, or anything. We're trying to get that in a uniform basis so we can go through it and know at all times where we're at on it and the progress we're making.
But anytime you need our help, you call us.
Thank you. Go to the 4th, Shane.
Board, I want to get a few things real quick. We been in contact, Ms. Penny has, with the gentleman, Mr. Odom, that owns the property right across the street from us. He sent his general contractor down here. Ms. Penny talked to him. I was out on a fire call, so wasn't able to be here. We've given him 14 days. They're going to give a plan. He's looking at either renovating it or tearing it down himself.
Okay, so
Right across the street, yes,
the one
ma'am.
that's so bad. Okay.
Yes,
Next
ma'am.
to Lacey's building.
Yes, sir, right next to Ms. Lacy's building. So, next board meeting, if he has not presented us anything, I'll have it already done up. Me and Ms. Penny can get together and we'll get with Mark. We'll have a publication for, to go in the paper to hire a contractor to proceed with the hearing we had on the property. We have a hearing next board meeting for the property on 11th over there that we condemned after the fire and stuff we had over there that's got the yellow tape on. So we'll have that. The hearing notice was sent out today and posted right outside City Hall for the property. And the only other thing is that ask for, going executive meeting over a personnel matter also.
You got executive session?
Yes, sir, executive session, so. But unless y'all have any questions,
I
yes,
do
ma'am.
have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Those shed things behind the fire department that's, got extension cords running from that house, is there something we can do about that? That's gotta be a safety hazard.
I will
There's
I'll,
3 or 4 of them, it looks like people's living in them.
Yes,
And I
ma'am.
think that's against code, ain't it?
I think it violates our zoning, and, me and Ms.
And
Penny
it's
can
right-
meet and go
yeah.
down there and look at that tomorrow,
Cause that don't
so.
look good right next to
Yes,
city
ma'am.
property.
And, just like what we've been doing, I'll send an
Yes.
email out, so everybody's on the same page with stuff, so.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right by the fire
Yes,
department. We don't
ma'am,
need
so-
a fire, that's right.
Exactly, so.
Thank you.
But any other thing is,
That's it for me.
thank you, Board.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
But fire department.
I don't have a lot. Good day to mayor and board. I just want to go over a few things. Just gonna let you know for the month of January, we had 19 fire calls. Last week, Shane and I, we started fire inspection for the city, around the city, and we're gonna continue to do that over the next couple weeks or however long it takes. So
I've got a question. Do you inspect every business? Is that what you're
I was
saying?
just fixing to get to that. If you've never been inspected, you're gonna get inspected this year. We're gonna make a point to cover every business. I know that some people said, we've never been inspected. Well, it's beneficial to you to be inspected, because if something happens and they can say, well, we've never been inspected. So we're making a point, we're gonna inspect every business in the city of Magee. And it's gonna take a while because we go out and do so many inspections, and we have to come in and put the reports in. Of course, with the rating bureau can see that too, so it takes a little time to do that. I know some of you may have noticed today that some of the fire trucks are out and about around the station today. We have started testing hoses. We tested 1,400 foot of 4-inch supply line today, and if you don't know how heavy that is, dragging that much hose around, there was 5, but me and Shane and Michael and a couple other guys, we done that all day today, and we're gonna continue to do that. We also we're planning to start testing and flowing the hydrants. What the plan we've come up with, we got to test them, flow them, then we're gonna come back and we're gonna clean up around them and we're gonna repaint all of them. And that kind of, as we paint them, that we kind of log that hydrant's been taken care of. So if you see any hydrants because we're gonna be in the process, but if y'all guys see any hydrants that need addressing, we're gonna try to clean up at least a 3-foot area around them. Clean the dirt up around some of them. We're gonna make them look presentable. And we're talking about, instead of just painting the caps of the hydrants, we're gonna paint the whole hydrant that color so it's easier, more visible than trying to find what color, because a lot of times the tops fade quicker. So that's one of the things we're gonna do. And and this is gonna take several months. We're just kind of giving you an idea of what we're gonna be doing around the city. So, and also when we do start flowing the hydrants, we will let Tim know, so keep up with the water. We're gonna try to do it at a minimum. We hadn't really decided if we're gonna start in one area. Realistically, we start closer to the tanks and work our way out, but just depending on the time of day and where we're at, we may have to jump around. So you see us over here 1 minute, you see us over there, and it's not because we're running around with our heads cut off. We're doing it to try to conserve water for the city, try to keep a minimum. We've also started gathering and ordering paperwork, our documents and everything in preparation for the rating bureau, because they can show up at any moment. So we are getting that organized and getting all that in order, and that's why we are starting our inspections and our hose testing. And just one other thing I want to reiterate, Charlie had asked me about the emergency management stuff, letting Penny take that over, and I was in agreement with that, because when disasters happens, you don't need a fire department or somebody needs to be out in the field trying to keep up with fire reporting back to you guys. You need somebody that's, and like Penny, she was more than happy to do it. She's passionate about it. She's somebody that can sit there and monitor and give you guys minute-on-minute updates. Whereas, we out in the field, we don't, it'd be bombarding us trying to get updates, get you guys, and we're out trying to do other things. So I was in all agreement with that, and I think she'll do a wonderful job with that. That's all I have. If you guys have anything y'all need to ask me, we're going to continue. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of work. getting all this done, but you know, it's the first of the year and it's time, we're gonna, hopefully by middle of the year, we'll have every business inspected, hydrants clean, painted, flowed, documented, and, but like I said, if y'all have any.
For all you do.
If y'all have any questions anytime, you know, you can call us, come by, see us, and let us know if you see something we ain't doing right, let me know. But I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
That covered everything, executive sessions.
I got,
Mate,
Yes.
I actually got back here and realized that we actually brought the committee's recommendation to the table and it wasn't voted on.
Okay. All right. On what?
On the employment, the committee
Or do y'all want to,
for the
do y'all want to
part-time.
discuss that?
I thought that was going on.
Well, I brought it up as the committee's recommendation of what we recommended, and it never got voted on. And I got to my seat and realized it didn't get voted on.
But
I know, but I'm saying,
we voted on doing a maintenance person in a meeting. Didn't we vote on that?
yes, the committee, the airport committee, as I brought the recommendation up, as I was standing up here earlier, that the airport committee recommended that I was to go as interim part-time. And that's what the committee recommended. And so I presented that to you a while ago and we didn't vote on it. And then the salary was to be discussed by y'all.
I'm fine with their recommendation, but it was all on a voluntary basis. We weren't paying
Somehow there got some misinformation passed at some point. I
No,
don't
what I'm
know
saying,
how
no,
or by who.
we had a committee meeting, and the committee, when we had the airport committee meeting, it's just like this.
Where did they get their information from, that amount?
Because in our workshop,
We didn't. There wasn't no amount. That's why I said it had to be discussed by y'all. The amount was to be discussed by y'all.
That it was given, we were given an amount.
Oh, no, it was the recommended that was the committee, the airport committee met, and it was, you know, and we asked it, look, somebody needs to be out there. I said, I'll do it. Nobody else raised their hand. Nobody wanted to do it, so I'll do it. And then we voted, and it was, I excused myself from that vote, and it was unanimous. And now, a while ago, I presented that to y'all, and it never got voted on.
Well, my recommendation is gonna be that it would be on a voluntary basis if you want it. That we're not paying anybody until we get it banked. So we need to vote that it's just gonna be, the airport manager will be on a voluntary basis until we get somebody hired in place.
John, we didn't vote on the city maintenance building and then the airport manager was gonna be volunteering until we got them hired.
Obviously, nobody came to the last meeting from the airport and presented the committee's
He
recommendation.
did, and they the one, they supposed to be here at the top. Chairman and vice chairman was supposed to be here, they're the ones that said.
And like I said, when I sit down, I was like, man, I actually presented the committee's recommendation and didn't get a vote, and I don't know, I felt like I need to come and either vote against it or vote for it, but do something. It was on the table.
I mean, my recommendation is to, if you want it on a voluntary basis, I'm for it. You know, that's my recommendation, that we had discussed not paying airport manager at this time. And it would all be on a voluntary basis until we got a maintenance personnel in place and any airport manager would be on a voluntary basis, because I believe we've been told that there's a couple of airports in the state that they use an airport board member as their airport manager for a period of 6 months or a year, and then they rotate it to someone else each time. And they just kind of keep up with what's going on, check on it, you know. And it's all a voluntary basis. That's my recommendation, is we don't pay anybody right now as airport manager.
So the recommendation on the table was to hire an intern. Now, either the motion needs to be to accept that or not accept it. And not the voluntary, the motion that's on the recommendation on the table. It's either a motion to accept it or not to accept it.
My recommendation is not to accept it, because they're supposed to be told it's on a voluntary basis.
My thing is I presented it needs to have a vote.
Sure. Okay, make your motion, Sam.
I make a motion, we don't accept it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Because they were supposed to have been told that it was on a voluntary basis.
Right, I mean, but when I'm saying I presented it, it needed to be voted on because we gotta go back to the committee to make another recommendation. That was just all I was getting at, that it was an official recommendation I presented and we didn't vote on it and it could have cost us some legal issues later on. And I want it to be a yes or no vote so we can move on. Thank you.
But you can handle that as far as this voluntary basis from now on. You can relay that to them.
He's probably got other things he wants to be doing.
Yeah, I got stuff.
No,
Anyways, we're gonna.
he's saying to relay it to the airport board.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Voluntary.
Yeah, we'll take care of
Yes.
it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I got a question for Allison real quick. The library, boom.
Have not gotten back that second bid. I've given the one for the metal to Penny. I got that, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Because
But
I
we
know,
have not heard back from, and then Tiffany took someone else over there.
Larry Mangan.
Yes, and I texted her before I came and she hadn't heard back from him either.
Because if we don't do something, it's getting here.
Well, it didn't happen overnight.
I agree with you.
It's been that way a
Amen.
while. So,
All right, executive session for personnel matter, police department.
We need to,
We need to close the meeting first.
I make a motion with
Close the
adjourn.
meeting.
No, not adjourned.
Oh. I make a motion